It would be pointless to start this video by explaining to you all the ways that YouTube's copyright system is broken. Everybody knows how broken the system is if they've spent any time online at all. Cases like Totally Not Marks proves that YouTube's copyright system has many flaws, and as a creator myself, I can tell you that if I include more than a 3-second clip from a copyrighted work, my video gets taken down by the rights holder immediately, with no regard for whether that video is transformative. A 3-second or more clip. That's ridiculous. 3 seconds of footage is automatically deemed by the system warrant enough to take the video down. It's stupid and it makes no sense, and everybody knows that. But in a situation like this one, the issue goes way beyond the realm of just regular YouTube copyright issues and into the malicious abuse of that system by a Japanese company to try and take down a smaller creator and remove years worth of their work from the platform. Before this video begins though, if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. I make videos as frequently as possible. I try to make them daily, but it's not always possible. If you could subscribe to the channel to help me reach 100k in the next few months, which is my goal, that would be highly appreciated. I've had this goal for the past 7 years, and to see that we're so close to it is actually, there aren't even words to explain how much it means to me. A goal I've had since I was 11, a goal that I childishly made up in my head, not even understanding how much work it would take, not even understanding what it meant, thinking content creation was an easy thing that I could just breeze by and get an online career. I never understood what it would take to be a YouTuber, and I never even comprehended the possibility of actually succeeding. I only said it because I dreamt it, but it was a pipeline dream, like kids want to be inventors or people like Albert Einstein. It was, in my mind, an impossible goal. But here we are, only 20,000 subscribers away from that goal that I thought for so long was implausible, and last year I was considering quitting YouTube because my channel wasn't going anywhere. With that being said, let's talk about how my channel and many other creators' channels may be at risk of absolute complete deletion because of a fundamentally flawed system that even YouTube likely can't fix unless they do the same thing they did for Totally Not Mark and geo-lock content outside of Japan. This situation starts when Swede, a smaller YouTuber with 20k subscribers, uploads the seemingly first video on their channel. If you weren't aware of how much content was on there beforehand, Swede released a video explaining how they'd had years worth of their content taken down by Shop Pro for a seemingly unjustified reason, despite, as they believe it, all of that video being transformative to the best of their ability. They explain on Twitter that Shop Pro has developed a technique that should scare everyone. If any Japanese company sees you using their IP, they can take down your entire channel legally in the space of 3 months, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. There's a 2-step program, and it's very concerning. Step 1, create a rudimentary small claim in Japan, aim it at the offending creator and send it to YouTube, demanding the videos be taken down. Make sure the fine is too big to ignore, but too small to be worth legal fees. Make it confusing and obtuse. And step 2, since it's legal proceedings, YouTube steps away and washes their hands. The videos go down instantly with no option to counterclaim, and the YouTuber is forced to go through the Japanese law to fight this case. This is concerning for multiple reasons. Mainly because this is a legal proceeding, despite it not being a severe one, YouTube has to step away from this case. Because YouTube has to obey safe harbor laws, which means they don't get involved in legal disputes, otherwise they lose their neutrality and open themselves to legal lawsuits, YouTube can't do anything here in this situation to protect the creator from an unfair claim. They have to step away from legal actions unless they want to fuck themselves over. And then, because this legal dispute was filed in Japan, the YouTuber is forced to go through this legal dispute in Japan, where fair use law is basically non-existent, and using a Japanese IP in any way in your content out there can even get you arrested in certain cases with YouTube channels where YouTubers have been arrested over videos they've made because they live in Japan. It's incredibly concerning, and because this system is incredibly impossible to dispute, because there's no option to counterclaim because it's a legal dispute, they are fundamentally fucked in this situation. Swede explains further in their video exactly how ShopPro did this to them, and honestly, the way ShopPro is acting maliciously here is really concerning because it shows that any Japanese company could do the exact same thing if only they were aware, and in Totally Not Mark's case, if a company like Toei was to try and do something like that, he would be fucked. Because while they took down thousands of his videos, because they did it through YouTube YouTube's copyright system, they had to follow American law, and because YouTube geo-blocked Totally Not Mark's content in Japan, they'd have to take it to another country's legal dispute to fight the case where fair use would exist, and as such they likely wouldn't win. However, because this legal dispute is filed in Japan, Swede has to follow Japanese law unless their content is geo-blocked in Japan, which is why they're saying that every YouTuber should be able to block their content in certain countries. I agree, 100%. There is a slight risk here of piracy because it would make Japanese companies struggle a little more, but as long as that content isn't fair use, Japanese companies could easily still take that content down through YouTube's copyright system without the false DMCAs or risk of something like this happening. But as it currently remains, without YouTubers being able to geo-block their content, I've had to take down videos that include reviews or any portions of copyrighted content from Japan, because otherwise I risk those videos being struck down and me losing my entire channel because of it. And even then, that doesn't protect me entirely because those videos are privatized, not deleted, which means if YouTube's fucked up backwards system somehow allows them to take down the content anyway, I'm still fucked. And any YouTuber who produces reviews, like Mother's Basement, who made a post about the situation, if someone like Mother's Basement ends up in this situation, they're completely fucked because their content relies so much on copyrighted clips despite it being all transformative, meaning if a company tried to abuse the system like this, there would be no possible defense for them under Japanese law, which makes this situation so much more scary. And honestly, I hope more people signal boost this situation. It's good to see a lot of people signal boosting the fact this has happened to a smaller creator, because if this can happen to someone with 20k, it'll only become more and more possible that more and more companies try to do this to bigger creators. What's happened here is unjustified, and honestly, if anything, we need to call for YouTube to give us geo-blocking so that these legal disputes are handled in other regions, hopefully, where fair use exists, where Japanese companies are less able to abuse this system. Copyright is confusing and difficult, and honestly, I'm not the most educated on copyright law. That should be obvious because I'm a college student and not a law professional, but nonetheless, I should make it quite obvious I don't know everything I'm talking about. However, I do know that content that is fair use should be allowed to remain on the platform, and YouTube should step in situations like this to make sure Japanese companies can't abuse the fact that they don't have fair use in their country to force creators into losing their entire channels if they make fair use reviews of Japanese IPs. With that being said, that's just my 2 cents off the cuff opinion on this situation. This video is a much more relaxed video than my regular content. I thought I'd sit down, talk about this, and give my raw thoughts. I didn't want to make a long, in-depth, expansive video going over every side of this situation and giving the most nuanced take I could provide. I just wanted to give you my genuine raw thoughts upon seeing this situation, in hopes that if I spread word, just like everyone else should be doing, YouTube will do something like they did in Totally Not Mark's case, and hopefully resolve the potential issues that could arise if more Japanese companies tried to abuse systems like this. In the meantime, any content I've produced, anime review or otherwise, whether it's a video I'm proud of or not, is completely gone from the channel. I had a 3-hour video on Evangelion in the works. That video has been postponed. It was going to be my 100k special. It sucks that I have to ruin the surprise here, but that video has been postponed until further notice because I can't make content reviewing Japanese media even if my video is completely positive and completely transformative, because of how broken this system is and because of the inherent risk that would pose for me and the potential for me to lose my entire channel over it. I hope that's understandable. It does genuinely suck because I was really proud of how that video was turning out, but it does mean I get more time to make it better. So if YouTube does fix this system, I can release the video and it should be to an even higher standard than it would have been otherwise. With that being said, if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Normally my videos are more well-formed gameplay. I use a lot of screenshots, sources, clips. I like to make these videos more in-depth and well-scripted. This video was genuinely just my raw reaction, so it's probably not the best video you've ever seen on this channel. But if you did enjoy it, if you did enjoy my raw thoughts on a situation, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you'd like to see more videos just like this, tell me in the comments. I'm aiming for 100k as I mentioned at the start, but I feel like I don't need to repeat that to you. You can also check out my Twitter if you'd like to support me over there, and my Discord if you'd like to join and get to know my community, get announcements and pings whenever I release videos, so that if YouTube system fucks up, you still get notified when I make videos, etc. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it like me.